Yo, Q, what up? Yo, Q,
Man, I'm keeping it real. What up, Duan?
Welcome
Let's get it.
to Not Just Music, where we keep it real and honest.
Always.
My mama praying, telling me, Q, you need to chill. They can't respect the truth from just honest.
Again, Not Just Music Podcast. I'm your boy Duan Marino.
Q.
Quincy Murdoch in the building as always.
What's happening?
Again, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Blessed, highly favored.
Good,
We
good.
back.
We back. Another Thursday. 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody is in the building, is having and enjoying life. We were just talking about this again. Failure, you have to go through failure. If you're not going through failure, you're not learning.
That's what make you.
A lot of y'all seem to think that life is just supposed to be breeze and mommy and daddy is supposed to take care of everything, and we never get out here and take tries and learn to fail because your parents failed, their parents failed, and the only way they learn is from their failures.
Yeah.
And a lot of these generations now have changed the course of that to make it seem as if failure is only supposed to go or be one-sided, and it's not.
And they don't know what to do when they fail or when a failing situation appears. Confused, run, scared. What am I going to do? Yeah.
Most of the times, I think, man, a lot of this can be settled if we can just, like I say, learn. Stop taking the L's it's over. Life can't be over that fast. I mean, if you really think about it, especially if you're like 21, 22, and that phase of my life was very courageous. Duan thought he could do it all. What about you, Q?
Yeah, that was my crucial times. I was trying to find myself around that time. That's when you trying to find yourself. You trying to, figure out, becoming a man, relationships, girls, start getting into that, start nibbing and dabbing into some things too, that you ain't supposed to be doing.
You definitely do.
Thank God I ain't get into the drugs. I never was a smoker or a drinker, so I ain't deal with that. Women was my problem. I got into little problems with women, but yeah, I was kind of, wet behind the ears at that age. I had to, my 20s is, I think I drove my mama through hell. My 20s, like, made her nervous. That was like my crucial years that, my mama was kind of worried about me. Like, this boy, I don't know what happened. But yeah.
I had a little angle I want to go at this today. Of course, I'm still in my history book, man. Y'all black folk gonna get this regardless of. I'm gonna give it to you. Just the expectancy of the turnout of what history has given this podcast is actually satisfying. To think that nobody would be thinking about it, but to see that y'all really appreciate somebody talking about history. I mean, I know y'all, we give y'all real life situations here and there and just real life talks, go through stuff, we feel things, we say things, and we talk about it. Then here are those moments when here is this moment now. Again, we have a chance to talk about history. I've been unfolding, and I finally need to start putting them out because I got a lot of podcasts that I have not released just due to how much content I just want to create versus just all. And when I just drop it, I'm gonna release a lot of it at one time. But I wanted it to be a certain level of content that y'all can really digest, because a lot of y'all really cannot.
Getting the wrong kind of information or the wrong kind of education nowadays.
Y'all are misguided.
Misinformed.
It's understanding being misguided. It's a lot of that's going to be due to, like I said, who's in your life. If you don't have the right people in life to put this stuff in your life, I mean, what can you do?
Hey, but it also started with self-choice too, man. You know, you still gotta have some a little bit of common sense up there. Like, okay, this don't seem right. This seem off. I might need to look into this. You know, common sense. I'm not saying know it all, but you gotta have some common sense though. Mm-hmm. That instinct, that gut feeling. You know. Well, at least I have it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like something ain't right.
Some people don't have it, man.
It's cool. And
we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn some stuff, y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna keep this laptop turned, slightly sideways. My dad's laptop, and there's a sticker on the back of it that I really don't want to be seen with me, so that's why it's turned sideways like this. It's not to promote them in any manner. It's a cowboy sticker, just so y'all know.
Oh,
and I don't do Dallas Cowboys.
Oh man.
So, he does. Oh man. Definitely he'll watch it and know that I've had it turned sideways. Love you, Daddy. Appreciate the laptop borrow for this podcast.
That's
again.
A nice little throw in right there though.
Had to let that be known. First, Charlotte. What's up, Charlotte? Man, what's the business? Charlotte, let's talk about more of these black history people that we don't know about. The ones that probably none of y'all ever even thought to even look up. That I just decided one day, like, you know what, I'm gonna look it up. And the crazy part to look it up is very, very small avenues to find or look up about black history in Charlotte. So the crazy part is that now that I actually did one video, we did one video, and then there's a few videos that I point to actually history. There's this situation that one from Charlotte actually made its way into the Charlotte search now. So if I search black history in Charlotte, that video associates with that search now. So it lets me know that getting in that lane is probably an open lane to do that.
Wow.
So again, that's all in doing learn some stuff, y'all. If with your businesses, go learn some stuff. See if somebody is actually already out there doing what you're doing. If somebody out there doing what you're doing, don't go jump in that lane because that's a saturated market.
So they see that whole video that we did, that whole episode.
They can search it. If it's searched, it's within the search. It's within the search category.
And that was a powerful episode too.
So just to point out, that's just a tidbit for those that do content and create content.
Create your own lane.
Yeah, find your lane. Do it until you can find that lane that everyone it could be respected. 1, 2 is fresh. Something that you can do a lot of. But anyway, here we go. Charlotte. In the city of Charlotte, a lot of people understood, especially my mom and my dad. They were around during the time of the era of when schools were segregated. And then when they broke the whole situation of segregation. One of those people, her name was Dorothy Counts Scoggins. I think that's Scoggins is how you pronounce her last name. Dorothy Counts Scoggins. Integrated Charlotte Public Schools on September 4th, 1957. She was one of 4 black students who integrated Charlotte's public schools as she entered Harding High School. It's over there on the west side. Throngs from people who opposed integration hurled racial slurs to her, spit at her, threw rocks at her. Although her stay was very short at Harding, and we're talking really short. She only lasted 4 days at the school.
Dang.
But photos of her courageously walking into school rallied black people nationwide to push officials to reinforce the landmark Brown versus Board of Education decision, which declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional.
So she made an impact in 4 days. Mm-hmm. That's powerful.
Her
just walking in. Wow.
Yep.
That's deep. That go to show the little bit of time we have, the moment you have, you never know what. Use it to the best you can. Mm-hmm. That moment, and put your best foot forward. Because, like you say, you never know what it could impact, how impactful it could be.
One day I can tell from There's one picture I'm gonna pull up. Of course, I pull it up somewhere within this video screen just know that this one was actually big for Charlotte. Think about it. Hardin being one of those schools that a lot of people probably even never knew that even went on there. in the littlest bit of knowing that much, though, that the black community that surrounds Hardin now, it makes sense to certain situations, certain schools, certain areas, and certain locations, how we rallied as black people to become and take over a lot of these areas. I'm sure you probably like that, and probably in Statesville too. And we'll get into that history too after a while. But again, there are a lot of black situations that are overlooked in North Carolina, period. But this is one of them that is like, okay, how you never get to really hear about it. And I mean, I was in school in the 80s, 90s, and I graduated in 01. I never heard of this lady. They never brought this up. This is something that me and you talk about how they never announce black history. It's never here.
Yeah, it's like
this is what you need to know. You know, this is the first person to do this. They don't talk about that stuff. They won't talk about it because, and again, it makes sense. That's why it won't get talked about. So again,
and it probably will make us more motivated. You know what I'm saying? More educated.
And that's the part that I wish
our identity.
Yeah,
and, know your identity. Know and come to realization of who we are.
Yep.
So
that's definitely a big.
That's really what it is.
Breaking situation. Another person. This is a person I feel should be recognized too because a lot of us didn't know it. I'm gonna put it up right here. A lot of us probably never seen or known. Well, we've probably seen the Mecklenburg County seal. A lot of people probably didn't know that a black man made that symbol. So we're gonna shout out Harvey Boyd for. In 1964, Matthews Harvey Boyd was a 20-year-old designer in the Charlotte Observer's ad department when he saw a solicitation for designs for an official Mecklenburg County seal. He threw his hat in the ring and created an iconic emblem that featured imagery from the county's past, present, and likely future. He won. And now that seal is emblazoned county-wide. He still lives in Matthews today.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
And you would have never knew.
His name is Harvey Boyd again. He's from Matthews. And he's still alive. But just remember this.
He big.
If you see Harvey Boyd, if y'all know who Harvey Boyd is,
hey, I want to get him on here.
That'll be a dope situation. If y'all can get Harvey, if y'all know who Harvey Boyd is, and if Harvey Boyd is still available to,
please, Harvey, we want you.
I would love to. Even if I have to come to you and sit down with you, that's fine.
Set
too.
him up.
Because I don't expect you to be a young man, and whatever it is, I honor and respect that. So
elders,
if I have to come to you, that would be totally fine. Just to sit down and have a conversation to.
That's historical.
Understand this whole situation in 1964, because again, we were still highly in a segregated situation. So I would love to know what it was like, what you had to deal with to get this seal across, and who you had to give it to. Because I know some detail behind it. It'd be a dope story to know.
Yeah.
So, if y'all know who Harvey Boyd is, and the Boyd family, if y'all hear me under the sound of my voice, if y'all know who Harvey Boyd is, and that's your uncle, that's your granddad, that's your great-grandfather, whoever it is to you, let him know that us at Not Just Music Podcast would love to talk to him. Next, I want to bring up this situation because rarely we talk about the government in this light. And I'm going to ask you a question before I get into this, because I really felt I wanted to ask you this. It just made sense to just be like, Q is a very, very, very vocal dude. And You know,
You think so?
You never
think so?
wonder. Yeah, I mean, you vocalize a lot of opinionated things that are not wrong for doing. It's your opinion.
Do you cringe on some of the stuff I say?
No, I ain't gonna cringe.
Like, be real.
No. I ain't gonna cringe because it's these pathways have been walked before. These shoes have been, people have had to have done what you've done. So it's not like wrong for you to do or have those opinions like you had those opinions. But have you ever thought about taking the stance of if you can't beat them, join them? Meaning, have you ever thought about being like a mayor? Have you ever thought about being like, what's another lane? City council, on the city council. Have you ever thought about doing anything?
It's funny you ask.
Like that.
Funny you ask. Absolutely, yes.
So what's your stance on it? Give me some.
I'm see, this kind of guy I am. Like, I hold true to my morals. I hold true to who I am. Mm-hmm. No matter where I'm at, you put me in a room full of people that's biased against what I believe, I'ma still believe what I believe. But my thing is, I know how to get in those doors with people. I know how to rub elbows with people. And once I get in, and once you give me a little position, and where I can have my voice heard, where I can speak for millions of people that feel like me, or can't speak or say what I want to say, or scared to say what I want to say, then that's when I take my opportunity and I will become that person. I will be who people thought I was, Quincy Murdoch. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't change. Mm-hmm. I just maneuver my way into a situation, buddy. Yeah. Once I get in, you see my true agenda. Yeah. So I would love to run for council or something like that.
Chris Rock in that movie.
Yeah.
His president had Bernie Mac as his I can't remember. I can't remember.
I mean, and I can hit you with educational stuff too, and I ain't got to curse in my speeches. I can get my point across very intelligently and very educational. And I can use real life situations to make those people, understand it more. They might not, and then I can hit you with the fact area. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So whatever way you want to play it, I can play it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I'll make a good city council or a spokesman or any office thing. Yeah.
So the reason why I say that has reason. Charlotte especially has been known for having black people in those seats, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out my boy Gary. I need to get Gary on here. Gary Young.
Okay.
He's been on the city council for working around the city council, with the city council, and then actually on city council for as long as I can remember.
Dope.
I mean, he went to school with me. Like, he graduated actually a year after I did. I think he graduated, 02. If I'm say 02 or 03. One or the other. But Gary is, I think his last name is Young, if I'm not mistaken. One of those kids that you knew he would be into something like that. And actually never lost his credibility to who he was. Like you said, You don't want to change who you are. You continue to, I mean, you'll still see bro in some Jordans, Yeah. You still, see him stepping out and going to do things and, hitting the city. But he's tying himself in, though, because the case of he wants to know what the people need and see what the people, you know what I'm saying? See what's going on.
Right.
People like, first person I want to speak on is Harvey B. Gantt. Harvey B. Gantt is the first black mayor of Charlotte. He actually, let me read, because Harvey Gantt made history.
This is some of his background. This is a little bit of his background.
Like, definitely.
Like how, what kind of a person he was, you know what I'm saying? Before that, his upbringing.
You could tell his mentality was already on this, because just look where he came in at. Harvey Gantt made history when he was elected Charlotte's first black mayor in 1983. That's the year I was born. But it wasn't his first time as a trailblazer. 20 years earlier, he became the first black student admitted to Clemson University. Get what I'm going with this now?
Mm-hmm.
This is the parts where I say, like you said, girl, basically the lady went into she was a young girl then. Mm-hmm. She entered Hardin. It was so bad on her for 4 days, but she made a point.
Made an impact.
You make your point. All it takes is that one. Like I said,
all it takes is one episode. All it takes is one episode. One reel.
One reel. Like it takes just that one time, and it's taken off.
What you say? You got to play big. Yeah, all it takes is that one time.
That risk. That risk to go to a predominantly white school, Clemson University now, y'all, down in South Carolina, the Tiger Paw, the Orange. Ooh. He would later co-found Gantt Huberman Architects in 1971 and joined Charlotte City Council 3 years later. As mayor, he led Charlotte as it adopted its identity as a new South City. As an architect, he developed some of the city's most recognizable landmarks, such as the Charlotte Transportation Center.
Wow.
And Friendship Missionary Baptist Church.
Now that's big, because anybody that's in Charlotte know about the transportation area, the buses,
Cats.
the train. Yeah, downtown Charlotte.
Shout out my dad. He retired out of Cats.
Hey. And that's a spot. Hey, what's the Vaz? What Vaz? What's the center down there?
You talking about
where they hold the
epicenter?
Yeah. That area, man. Yeah, dope area right there, downtown. Yeah, transportation right there. He
basically the first situation of Cats. Probably I remember especially when my dad was working in my younger years. So much has changed with Charlotte Transit, man. The transit system and the busing system. A lot of the stuff is solid though for what you see. But far as like, it's just how much it's grown from that small situation to how big it is now.
There's people on the streets everywhere downtown,
Yep.
Yeah.
But today he remains active in Charlotte's political scene, serving on several business, civic, and philanthropic boards. So again, Charlotte Harvey began Q. That's why I said I brought that situation up, because sometimes some stuff that he did reminds me of like how you feel, and the things that you feel about the black community and stuff like that. I think a lot of us miss out on it because we don't have those avenues to know, like, okay, well, who do I talk to? Who do I need to put myself in front of to be able to be a mayor or to be?
I would love that too, man. Now that you brought that up, I would love that. I would love that. Go into that field.
Look it up.
Love to go into that field.
Look it up. That's why I see. Just moving on to the next person. I'm speaking on.
Can I say them?
Yeah.
Cause I feel like, and this is what I think. I think government, the seats, in the offices and stuff, could use somebody that a people could relate to.
Yeah.
Like, they see me, they can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, no disrespect to the city councils and people they put in the seats, but that's why I asked about the credibility, their life story, because you got to put some people that's been through some things, like some real life situations, that's gonna understand the people, because that's the main thing what it's about. And when I speak now, I speak because, for one, if the people are hurt, if the people are doing bad around me, that's gonna hurt me, it's gonna affect me. So that's the mindset I would have as a mayor. Like, I'm already thinking the people, because I'm not thinking about just fixing Quincy. I'm thinking about fixing the people around me. Because if people around me are not good, I'm not going to be able to be good and thrive. You got to think of it that way. You know what I'm saying? How can we live in a good world with bad people, or people that's not focused, educated, or willing to learn. So I think I just pitched my vote. Look, I don't even. That's why it would be a good Senate or something, because I want to see the people win. Yeah, because then I will win.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's the whole point. You have the ones that can be vocal.
Yeah,
and they're not standing on it.
Right.
They're not going to stand on it. The reason why they're not going to stand on it because in case they don't know the right way to do it. Let me give you an example. And this can kind of end this one. I get to the next person in the next week's episode. But you think about it like this. There's this line where people can connect to the world that they don't use it to the best of their ability. Mm-hmm. Meaning you have a platform, like you have a website.
Yeah.
Like you could take podcasting to the next level on your own, choosing to, right? Because you have a website, you have the space to do it, you have the platform to do it. Yeah. It's an ability, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Think about it. You could take a stance on whatever it is that you want to take a stance on and just run it up daily or weekly, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, twice a week. However you choosing to do it, you can release it on your own. It's easy to do now. You know how to shoot it, just release it. In the sense of, though, just think about it. The stuff that you feel, all that stuff that you feel, dump it on the people.
Put it on blogs, on the website.
Yeah, just do it on your website. And then you can post it just like how podcasting is done. You
post
do the
it on
same
your
thing
blogs.
on your website.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah, it's on your website to be able to upload it and have audio cast and everything, like actually chronologically how how it's done with not just music. But at the same time, you think about it, you can use that as your guide to get to people. Right. And use that as your way to say, okay, well, look, I want to be in government roles or be in, seats. Yeah. Put yourself out there. And then when it's time to get with it and vote, you have a following. You have people that's, even if it's small, but at the same time, you can have a small following and still be and get elected. Yeah. Anybody can be in these seats. Yeah. It's just you got to put your name in the hat.
Cause that's another thing. Cause I think I need to have that very sit down where like people really understand my perspective. Cause like I said, sometimes I feel like Kanye in ways, like how he might say something. Yeah. Like you don't mean no harm by it. The way you say it might be kind of edgy and it might rub somebody the wrong way. Yeah. But it's a message in that what I'm saying. Like when you go back and you look at it, like one thing I said, I was using porn as an example. Like it's this kind of degrading porn that white men downgrade the black woman, and it's on camera. It's like, willingly. And I was like, this reminds me of slavery. Like how the white men would, you know what I'm saying? Like, rape the black woman and stuff like that, even when she was married to a black man, and it divided the black race, and it hurt the credibility of the black race. And for one, it made us hate ourselves. Mm-hmm. So then we hated each other. So I said, we spend more time as black people attacking black and destroying black and down talking our own people, that we're not even mad on the people that inflicted the true problems and injuries and, and stuff on us. And to this day, they still do it. Like, we rather attack our own people instead of attack the white man. Mm-hmm. So that one thing about porn, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The small thing about porn goes to something bigger. That's what I'm trying to get to the people. It's not about just porn. You missed my message when I was saying it. That I was getting on a bigger message. Like, we are attacking the wrong people. We're mad at the wrong people. We should be mad at them, the ones that inflicted all this miseducation on us and raping our wives and, separating us and selling us and, not giving us our history. Now we're mad. We don't even know who to be mad about or mad at. We're mad at the wrong people. And once we can figure that out and know who the real problem is, I think we'll be better as people.
It'll fix a lot. It'll fix a lot. I think still to this day, a lot of us can do better at meaning the accountability to why things are going the way they are. A lot, especially if it was coming from I think if it was coming from a governmental situation, and it could trickle down totally different. It's just that the small people only gonna look at it as if in like it's a combative thing, like how you just said. It's like it was taken the wrong way.
Yeah,
it's always gonna be a thing of combat.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a thing of acceptance because people always.
But you as a man, if I said it that way, you get what I'm saying. If when I explained that, when I said it on social media, you get where I was coming from, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's
certain people that
it's just the mentality of the acceptance. Whoever's getting the acceptance, or whoever's taking it in and accepting it the way they're accepting it, they're gonna accept it. However they were raised. Is how it's gonna come down to, really, to me. Because I mean,
and I don't hate black women, man. Like, I mean, if anything, I was just trying to educate. You know, I don't hate black women, man. Like, I don't hate black people. But the thing of it is, the only way you can help somebody is being honest and telling the truth.
Definitely,
you know what I'm saying?
It's the thing of taking credibility and accepting that we can be the change. Like I just asked Q, you know. Would you mind being in the government? You know, so again, it's the accountability is definitely going to come down to the people, like you said. It's the accountability. What we accept is what we're gonna continue to keep. You know, we're gonna keep falling for that mess every time. It's easy to fall for it when you're not, trained. You ain't being trained. Nobody saying nothing to you about it. Ain't nobody putting it in your face. Ain't nobody showing examples. How somebody gonna know about it? Won't know. So, again, we hope you enjoyed our Black Talk. We're going to get right back to it next week. Next Thursday, another episode, another time. Make sure y'all follow us on all and everything that you can follow us on. Yeah. Download everything that you can download. Check out the merch store. Shirts are definitely making sense now. Again, to have a brand to brand ourselves to, other than just saying it's just not just music podcast. 100% podcaster is definitely in my blood. It's definitely in me. It's more to it than just sitting up here talking about it. I'm definitely gonna show it. And if you haven't, subscribe to our mailing list on our website. Yep. So you can constantly be updated to every time
we drop
a podcast is dropped.
Ching ching.
Other than that, Duan Marino, Quincy Murdoch in the building as always, and we will see y'all next time.